A good decision or a God decision? When you make decisions, do you go off your own instinct, your own tendencies, or do you ask God what He thinks? Here's a great lesson for us if we look at the story of Joshua and the Gibeonites. If you go to Joshua chapter 9, the background would be that the Gibeonites have heard of Joshua and the Israelites coming, and they're scared because they know that they are in line for one of the next nations to be destroyed, to be taken captive by this army of God. And so in fear, they go ahead and they make this lie. They get moldy bread, they put on their worst clothes, and they make it sound as if they have been traveling for quite some distance and coming to the camp where Joshua is there. They bring themselves before him and they basically say, "Hey, protect us." And Joshua inquires, "Where are you coming from?" And they say, "We've come from a long distance, and our bread was fresh when we first left, and our clothes were good, and look at this now, we got moldy bread, and we got problems with our clothing, our shoes are running out," and all this type stuff. And notice what it says in Joshua chapter 9, verse 14. "So the Israelites examined their food, but they did not consult the Lord." You know, I looked up these words here, and examine their food. It's really interesting because Joshua made the decision that because of their food, they were telling the truth. He accepted their food as a way of saying, yes, this is true. And that word examined in Hebrew does mean accepted. He accepted their food. He accepted their story. But notice how it also says they did not consult the Lord. And in this, the word consult, it means they did not receive a response from the mouth of Yahweh because they did not demand one of Yahweh. They did not ask Him. They did not question Him for, God, what do you say in this situation? And so here's my challenge. A lot of us go through life and we just do whatever it is we want to do. But God is asking for us to not make these good decisions because, let's just be honest, Joshua thought this was a good decision. It was not a God decision, and it ended up being a bad decision. See, we can make what we think is good decisions all day long. But unless it's a God decision, it still has the ability to fail. So here's the challenge. Today, make God decisions. Bring Him into the equation. Bring Him into the situation. Ask of Him and let the answer that you get come from His mouth because you have asked Him. Don't look at the stuff and say, "Oh, well, I think your story checks out." No. Ask God today, because I guarantee that when He gives the answer, that God decision is going to be the best decision you've ever made.